What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. In today's video I want to show you something that you can do on Sipta that actually really makes me want to go back to Sipta and start another Let's Play, because this is absolutely amazing. So what I have here is I have Mr. Brutus with me, and I'm just running around killing different things on the Isle of Sipta. Now you're going to want to watch the health points for the different enemies that I'm fighting. And this is quite possibly what people feel is the most difficult enemy to defeat in the Isle of Sipta. This is the judge, and he is the counterpart to the arena champion on the exiled lands. He's just as difficult or more difficult than she is, since he's got that long spear. Now there is a bit of a character build that goes into this. However, what I'm really highlighting here is Brutus there. Brutus is a certain type of playful pup that you can get in the Isle of Sipta, and with this build, he is an absolute monster. As you're going to see a little bit later on less armored targets, he is actually doing almost 1,000 or over 1,000 hit points per attack. So I just kind of played around with picking what I felt like people thought the most difficult enemies were. Now, first of all, I do want to say that since the update for the combat and movement speed, I feel like these fights are much easier than they were before. But at the same time, the Brutus that I'm showing you is an absolute monster. Like I said, he's doing well over 1,000 hit points per attack on this enemy. He is still very slow, so he doesn't get in there and cause a whole lot of damage in quick succession. But if you can keep him alive long enough to tick away at all these different enemies, he is going to be victorious. A standard boss health bar like the one that I'm fighting here is 18,777 hit points. If he's doing 1,000 damage per hit, that means he only needs to actually land an attack 19 times in order to demolish this enemy. That is like running around with the Sword of Crom in the exiled lands with the build that I showed you for that. Since he's doing 1,000 damage or more to lightly armored targets, Brutus has gone from being a monster to being an ultimate monster. Now for my character, I'm basically running my standard build. I've showed it to you multiple times. In this case, I'm using the Gladius short sword. But I'll put a link in the description of this video to a video where I show the armor that I'm using. Fighting this Spider Lang, we actually defeated it with 16,000 hit points in under 60 seconds. It is a very, very fast fight. So that means that really, if you're doing this properly, you can defeat almost any enemy on the map in a very short period of time. And do take note that I'm using the Voidforge Gladius, and the poison does not affect this target. So this is all raw damage and a little bit of bleed that Brutus actually applies to this target. You'll also notice that my health bar has pretty much stayed consistent. Some of that is just because I'm totally avoiding damage, but some of that actually has to do with this character build. For when I take damage or when I need healing, Brutus is going to heal me. I promise this is going to be the last fight, and for those of you that know me, you know I hate this fight. Hate this fight. But I actually really enjoyed it since this patch and update. And I will take damage on purpose a little bit later on during this fight so that you can see I'm not in God mode, I'm not cloaked, and I haven't been in God mode or cloaked. It's simply the better avoidance of damage and the fact that Brutus is sending me so many hit points when he actually attacks. Because when he's doing 1,000 damage per hit, that means I'm getting a ton of points. And the last thing here, for anybody that doesn't know where to find Brutus on the map, I will link a video in the description that shows you where his location is, so you can go and watch that. There are also other playful pups that I have not had the time to test to see if they're as monstrous as Brutus is. You saw I took damage there, and instantly I healed back up when Brutus attacked. So there's some more damage. Watch, it's just going to heal right back up when Brutus attacks, and it's just that fast. So this is a monster build, and we're about to end this monster as well. 18,000 hit points, and I'm just going to let Brutus finish him off just like that. Here we go, let's get into the build. So the most important thing that you're going to need here is in authority, but I'll show you all of it. In agility, we have precision strike at 10% and rolling thrust at the 25% increased penetration. For vitality, I went all the way to the second one for the fast healing, although you saw I never needed to use potions. This is where it gets exciting and interesting. What you want is well-trained. Your active followers have increased attributes. That's going to give plus 20 to each one of Brutus's attributes. Now, I went ahead and corrupted that to the third perk because I also get an additional 3% damage out of him for each corrupted perk when I do damage. So that's a lot of extra damage, adding an additional 9% damage to him. On top of that, I'm using the Tears of Gula and the Cooked Dogfish to buff his damage an additional 24%. So let me show you. I just admin spawned this guy in, admin leveled him. I didn't spend any real focused time leveling him, but he has 5613 total health. He has 980% max bonus damage. That is a ton of extra strength damage. It's insane. But if you are going to go and do this, I do recommend leveling him for health because he's going to do massive damage. If you can level him for health, that's going to be the best bet. And that simply is because he doesn't attack quickly. He is going to take quite a bit of damage. So it's dependent on you to kind of pick up the pieces there or to make sure he has lots of health and lots of healing items so that he can make it through the fight. This really makes me want to go back and play on Sipta. I may have to start up another Let's Play with Brutus one more time because he is an absolute monster. You guys let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about the fact that Brutus can do over 1,000 damage in one hit to a lightly armored target? I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.